Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for my recent video of 2019. Happy New Year to all. If you have missed the last video, I dare say have a look at it. It was one way to start the new year. I've done a video. I felt for the first few years quite positive for 2019. Got some good plans in place. I've been managing to book in a couple of weeks springtime holiday from work and a few other weeks during the summer holidays. So I'm looking into plans of what to do with my time off, and I've been looking into a few things I've been wanting to buy along the way. Some quite big purchases, some not so big, to bring you the better videos and the better content on YouTube, which is my #1 hobby. Absolutely love it. There's a seriousness side to it, there's a lot of fun side to it, and passion for what I do, and for all the comments and all the support. It's clearly something that you're enjoying as well, which just motivates me all the more. So thank you very much so far for all the support. I'm going to get into the stuff on the wish list. Ideally I plan to do a Christmas list and put the video up like a couple of weeks before Christmas, but I never get around to it. So this is a 2019 motivational year for me, and I want to fix the New Year's resolutions in place that I never done last year, which was to lose some weight. In the last 3 weeks I have lost 10 pounds in weight and I'm feeling absolutely brilliant. Following more of a keto method type diet for the short term at least, see where it goes in the long term. But I feel great, mood, cognition, positivity, motivation, it's all there, and it's helping me plan ahead my year. What do I want to do in 2019? I want to see more parts of Scotland I haven't seen before. I've already taken you with me to Ardnamurchan, Arisaig, Fort William, the Steel Falls. I've taken you the Glenfinnan Viaduct, to name a few places. I'm going to be taking you back to them and more possibly. Definitely new places I want to see, and I'm looking at ways of doing that. During the holidays that I've booked in, I'm trying to weigh out that with a few other things, because a few of the videos I have are actually some of the most popular videos are the ones on the prophecy side, like Medjugorje and Garabandal. So I actually am looking into taking a little short trip to those places and taking those viewers who appreciate it along with me and getting some great amount of video as possible with the camera, with the drone and everything else. So I'm looking into Garabandal and Medjugorje throughout the year as pilgrimages, and I'm looking forward to taking you with me on them, as well as the many travels, and keeping in progress everything else I'm doing. I want it to be a really good year. I saw what the predictions YouTube say I'm going to be this time next year. I'm going to try and break that as best as I can with your help. So please hit the subscribe, the thumbs up, and I really hope to hear your feedback as always, your recommendations, your wisdom, your advice. The beginning of the community that I'm getting with you all is absolutely brilliant. So here is, without further ado, the wish list of 2019. Okay, so my absolute #1 thing that I want more than anything right now, and I've been through an up and down phase for the last few months on and off, is the camper. I want to be free and hit those roads and see the beautiful country of Scotland, and then wherever else the road may lead. It's cause financially it comes in at a lot of money, but I'm looking into ways of getting that sorted. Obviously I'm not going to be going out there buying an absolute luxurious top of the range. I like the idea of all the Facebook groups where it's the camper conversions and the work and love and labourship that goes into making the very own home from home. So that's definitely something I want more than anything, and I want to take you all with me on those trips, get all the videos coming in with it. A prepper always likes the idea of a prepper on the bug out vehicle. This would not be what would be known as a bug out vehicle, but then again, any vehicle you use is that means to an end. When it hits the fan and you have to get out of there, you're going to take whatever comes your way. So why not do it with the financial side of things and have fun and enjoy life while we can. I love the camper conversion. If I could afford the alternative and have both, then of course I'd be looking at something like a Ford Ranger or the big Toyota Helix or something like that. But I'm doing a lot of camping, I want to hit the road and live the dream. I'll go for the camper conversion first, speaking for the YouTube side of things and my own heart, before looking into the prepper phase. So that's definitely a top priority I'm aiming for, hopefully this year. The next thing I would love to have, taken in from the prepper side and just having it, more of the prepper mindset, of course, would be the radios, walkie-talkies. There are so many different kinds out there, and I'd love to get some feedback from you all and get the comments coming. What do you have? What do you recommend? What have you heard that's good out there? Something that if I'm away with family or friends or a team, and we need to keep communication depending on the tasks of any given day, where we are, the environment, the situation, knowing what's happening else in the world or things like that, the BBC worldwide network radio or something, or any other one out there, the licensings when it comes to the more top-notch ones. Of course, not just for the radios, but for other uses as well, like the solar power. That's another thing I really am looking into, and it's a very popular thing among the preppers that I see. But when you are off-road, why not have a bit of extra electricity, filling that leisure battery in the camper to generating power for your radios and other appliances off-grid? Whether you're off-grid in a bug-out situation, whether it's the love for those woods and the camps again, why not get an extra bit of camo netting? I remember using it years ago when I was in the cadets. Had a lot of fun playing a lot of different games, tracking down the enemy and things like that. Sometimes it got the trickier of the eye, sometimes it didn't. But it's definitely something that's got a market and its place for getting used with the military as well. And if you've seen many of my videos, I've done a lot of camping up the hills and that recently, and in the Hermitage beehive up north, and meeting up with the four amigos at the lock sides and else. And it's great to see the country, but I do miss the woods. I really miss the woods. I grew up spending all my childhood playing after school in the woods, making tree swings, water swings, tree houses, many hours laboured at finding and foraging what we could to make them, and having a lot of fun. And the big kid is still in me, but taking it more serious as an adult and keeping it as a hobby as well. We have to do it for fun more than sensationalism, but bringing that balance together, bringing in those bushcraft skills, bringing in new camps in the woods. It's a different feeling, a different environment to enjoy. And it's a very welcoming feeling that morning. You wake up and the birds are chirping away, you get the fire on, get some breakfast, that peace. So that's definitely something I want to get more into, is the woods. But rather than just setting up the tarp and having the fire, I really would love to do something I've always been interested in from the survival side of things in the army, and that would be getting more into survival skills, knowing the edibles and foraging for the right food, not the wrong ones. So I'm kind of looking at one thing. You can get the basics when it comes to how to water filter or how to build tripods out of the woods, how to make your seats and shelters and things like that. But when it comes to more advanced skills, like what mushrooms to eat, which ones not to eat, what food you can get, the medicinal purposes from the nettle leaves to pines and all different types of bark on the trees, all this bushcraft I'd really love to do, and I'm looking at doing a proper course on it just to advance the skills more than what I already have. So with all that said, one thing I've found years ago when I was kind of low and just living off YouTube and watching others living the dream, there's one young man from Canada. He only had about 8,000 views at the time, or 8,000 subscribers, sorry. And as soon as I saw him in the woods doing what I'm desperate to do at the time, and then he had some company with his dog, and that was Joe Robinette. What else could be better company than your own dog? And for me, since I was a very young boy, I've always loved the German Shepherd dog. I absolutely love them. And I can see why the military and the police use them all the time and have done so since probably the Second World War onwards. They're handsome dogs. The coats, the pictures you've got here I've found are the type of one I'd be looking for in terms of look, but it's not all about the look, as we know. I don't want the show line, I want more of the working line dog, as that's the ones more that comes with the military and the police. I want to do the proper training with them as well, you know, the tracking, scent detection, obedience training, the agility training, and of course as a prepper, in terms of we bug out, it's going to be a natural instinct for the dog to protect me, but to do so with control, and I'd love to get into the defence side of things as well. Another dog it has grew over, I like the Rottweilers, I like the Akitas, but the other one it seems to be doing more popular is the Belgian Malinois. But I've been told with their hyper energy, they're definitely more suited for a constant daily fix of tasks, which probably suit people if they've got that life. Certainly it would be for the military, and as all dogs do need that care, that's something I need to work on for my own lifestyle before getting one. But my absolute dream, hitting the road on the van, getting into the woods and the camps or wherever I go, having my dog with me, absolutely 100%. When I'm hitting those camps, regardless of where I'm going, and it's always good to maybe keep an extra back. It's one thing to freeze food and all the rest of it, but a few of the guys from YouTube are on about dehydrating the food. Now, rather than having it all as the fruit and things like that, as you see here, which is not a bad idea, I was thinking more of getting proper jerky and things like that, extra protein, whatever you're putting in the mix that before you dehydrate it and get nutrients. It can be long lasting as well. That's something I'm seriously looking into as well. And keeping that in mind with the camping for the last part, is I'm already looking at getting the crampons, is because the snow is still forecast to be coming and hitting us. Last year we had the beast from the east, and we kind of missed out on good opportunities for camping. I feel more excited when it comes to the winter camping rather than the summer camping sometimes. Yeah, the scenery's greater with clear skies and looking out over the hills and all the scenery that comes in the summer. But winter camping, it just brings a stillness and a peace. And as long as you've got the gear, it's great. And if you saw my winter camping a couple of years ago, way up Fort William at Steel Falls, I had enough gear to keep me very cosy. But that sleeping bag's very bulky, and it takes up a lot, and the balance of my back, I've noticed a lot of wear and tears coming with my left knee, the left side of my back, it all kind of is connected, as the physio says, and getting it ultra light, but keeping that quality for the stuff. I'm looking at a down sleeping bag, which don't come cheap, but that's just another thing to throw in what I'm looking for this year, to bring you all the more videos. The next thing we're looking at, obviously I do have the Mora knife. You saw me even with the Japanese sandstone sharpening it in one of my videos. I've got the Laplander saw, which is absolutely brilliant, and I have, I'm sure it's the Hiltifer's axe I've got, all doing great for me. But the Mora knife seems to be, we need a better upgrade than something that was only worth around £15. It's held its own and it will continue to be part of the setup, but I'm looking for something more up there, and there's so many knives. I know of bush lower and jack lower and so other different kinds of ones, but I'd love to get your recommendations on them. Can it really be all down to the price makes a difference, or is a knife just the knife, it does the job as long as you take care of it? Same with the axe and things, but out of anything it needs an upgrade is probably the knife. Other thing I'd need to look into, and I'm aware about licenses and things like that now, but what other thing better than having like the air rifle? I'd like the idea of just having it. I wouldn't be going out hunting for fun or anything like that, as I don't believe in it. But if it had to come to the day where that had to happen, then a slingshot might not be enough, or the odd trap waiting for a long time just might not be enough to keep us going with the energy. Going for your hunting of the food with such as the air rifle will just bring that food quicker to you. And if you've already seen one of my videos I did the fishing, I'm doing a lot more plans to get into the fishing, getting into the woods, cooking it on the fire. I want to get more into that this year. I've really missed it. So these are things I'm definitely looking into in my own spare time out with of work, and things I want to buy. Does Preppers need a gas mask and an NBC suit by any chance? I know some people do have them, so I thought I'd just put that in there for a little finesse. If I get one, great. If I don't,
I'm sure I'll be fine. Because the only reason you're going to be wearing one of them is if you're in the epicenter of a nuclear explosion or nearby. If you get out of Dodge, are you going to really need it? But one thing I've always enjoyed, and we did have an old Russian military scope years and years ago, but it wasn't up to much. But I'd love the idea of getting top-notch night vision goggles. Again, if you're in that situation, you need it if you're going to be getting attacked, if people are coming to your location, wherever you are in that environment. Have that advantage. They can't see you, but you can see them. Whatever you're doing, what happens if it comes to you're in an urban environment? It's Armageddon times, it's post-apocalyptic, just for example, and you're surviving. It's every man and woman for themselves. What are you going to do? Would this not be a great advantage? Top-notch quality night vision scopes. I've already got the lockpick set. I've already got navigation systems. I've got a lot of water. Well, I've got water purifications, such as the Sawyer water filter. I've got all different things. A lot of things that still haven't come onto video yet. But things like this, I want to get more into the urban environments as well. I haven't looked into that at all. So bushcraft for one, enjoying the camping and outdoors, and maybe do some other videos, maybe even like fiction projects on what urban environment survival would be like as well. And to where would I put them? Why not look into an urban bag? They all come in different sizes and colours, but why not like the British Army patrol bags? Just what you need with the lockpicks, and I would look at doing videos and what I would be keeping in them as well. So that's the other things I'm looking at on the shopping list.